Superhero movies have made over $23 billion in the last decade. So what kind of house does that kind of money buy? If you're a strange star like Robert Downey Jr. worth $300 million, you've got to get a house that's also really strange and really expensive. Well, he definitely accomplished that. His newest real estate venture is known as the Binishell. It's an energy-efficient dome-shaped house that sits on 7 acres of land worth $13.4 million. It was built using large inflatable bladders that are covered in concrete. Each dome of the one-story home is of a different size with several sunken rooms, including Susan Downey's primary workspace, which features recycled walls. Everything about the interior is supposed to exemplify the 1960s utopia the house is going for. No right angles, wacky furniture, and blob-shaped windows are the new normal for the Downeys. It also features an entertainment area with a foldable garage door so that the room could transform into a screening room or an extended living room. The house also features a vast pool, farm animals, a tennis court, a basketball court, and ample storage space for his car collection. I assume that he learned from Tony Stark and got his pad insured for helicopter attacks. Losing that prime Malibu pad was probably why he had to sell Avengers Tower. Chris Evans may not be Captain America anymore, but he does still have his $3.5 million pad bought during his Marvel days. The 1940 house is 4,600 square feet with 3 bedrooms and 4.5 bathrooms on nearly an acre of Laurel Canyon land. It's a pristine home with plenty of privacy, natural light, and city valley views. Just outside the home, it looks like there's a perfectly manicured space for yoga or meditation. The interior of the home looks pretty basic, to be honest. The living area features several simple white chairs that look like you could find them at Target. Fortunately, the home itself offers enough amenities to justify that multi-million-dollar price tag. The home also features a spa, fire pit, 2 fireplaces, and a small heated pool. It also has a gourmet chef's kitchen, where he probably boiled all those chicken breasts jacked actors have to eat. Though I guess that $80 million made it worth it. Just like the MCU though, Evans reportedly abandoned this home to spend time closer to his family in Boston. Though I'm gonna pretend he's with Haley Atwell. Chris Hemsworth seems like he's on a mission to build up his arms as big as humanly possible. Well, this also seems true for his $130 million bank account and his massive $20 million home in Byron Bay, Australia. The over 4.2 hectare estate looks more like a small shopping mall or military compound than a house. It is a gigantic estate with the kind of soothing yet sleek design you might see at a luxury resort. It has soft white walls with bright blue windows and strategically placed palm trees on several different levels. Inside the home, you'll see things like an enormous mural wall painted by artist Otis Hope Carey. The house itself looks a lot more lived in than you'd expect. It's the perfect space for a family with a lovely dining room, a spacious living area for kids to relax and play, and as much backyard as possible. On top of all of that, it has 6 bedrooms, a personal gym, a spa, a rooftop infinity pool, a media room, a built-in fire pit, and of course a home gym. I imagine he spends most of his time there. If I were him, I'd put the heaviest version of Thor's hammer money could buy out front and ask people over to try and fail to lift it. There's no doubt that if Loki had a house, it would be made of solid gold and would feature a giant statue of him in the front yard. Tom Hiddleston, on the other hand, has a house that's basically the opposite of that. His home looks like the kind of sleepy English cottage you might see in a Harry Potter movie. Seriously, it even looks like there's overgrown greenery creeping up the side. It's a simple red brick home in the prestigious Primrose Hill neighborhood that also has the likes of Jude Law and Kate Moss. It's a minimalist place with 2,055 square feet, 4 double bedrooms, and 3 bathrooms. It looks like Tom is a huge fan of exposed wood. Even his chairs match the wood floors. This private little London home reportedly cost him $6.73 million, out of his reported worth of around $30 million. From videos he's shared during the pandemic, it's clear that he also loves to decorate his home with vibrant pop art and lots of plant life. I'm pretty sure this is the single most British house I've ever seen. The MCU just can't get enough of Doctor Strange right now. So with roughly 2,000 appearances in Phase 4, how does Benedict Cumberbatch spend his $40 million? If you were expecting Cumberbatch to live in a sleepy little place like Tom Hiddleston, prepare to be surprised. It's a 14,829 square foot Los Angeles mansion worth $12.6 million, with 7 bedrooms and 6 baths. It's located in the Hidden Hills, west of the city, and that view of California countryside is half the reason to buy. The other half is that this house is ridiculously decadent. It has a fountain, a pool, a basketball court, an open patio space that's nicer than most people's entire homes, and so much more. I mean, just look at how fancy this man's home theater is. It looks like he watches movies in a miniature opera house. The furniture is nice, but it looks pretty impersonal, as if he didn't buy it himself. While he seems so humble in interviews, no one buys a house like this if they have any humility. It makes Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum look quaint. Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet are the kind of married couple that would probably be happier than everyone else if they weren't worth 14 mil. If you want me to prove it, look no further than their $3.5 million theme park. I mean house. Seriously, this is the kind of place I would have designed at 13. It has a 25-foot climbing wall, a skateboard ramp, an area for axe throwing, and a room for his electric guitar collection. He also collects motorcycles, if being an axe-throwing, rock-climber, guitar-playing superhero wasn't enough. All of that is located on a beautiful 10-acre property worth $3.6 million. While Jason Momoa often describes his home life like the family is a pack of wolves, the interior is surprisingly classy. Pristine white furniture, interesting artwork everywhere, and a gorgeous spiral staircase contrast Momoa's wild hobbies. It's kind of like Jack Black living in Downton Abbey. Speaking of Downton Abbey, Momoa also decided to stay in a $2.6 million London mansion while he recuperated from the coronavirus. Just like his other home, there's a high contrast between the silliness like the pool, bowling alley, climbing wall, and home cinema. This all exists in the same home as a classy 8-bedroom, 11-bathroom estate that's somehow even classier than the other one. I don't think you can call yourself a wild man anymore if your house has grass that well manicured. All of our 2002 dreams have come true because Bennifer is back together. I'm talking about Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. The two are in a hurry to make up for 20 years of lost time. They were recently spotted shopping together for a $65 million LA mansion. The 8-bedroom, 12-bath estate located on 1.4-acre lot is the kind of home worthy of such a power couple. It's a soft white with black accents. The color palette seems to stretch throughout the home, including the home salon, the living rooms, the marble kitchen tables, and the home office. It looks like the same style of black chandelier runs across the ceilings of the entire house. The only piece of the property that seems exempt from this is the bowling alley, which ditches the sterility of the home for fun's sake. It also has an outdoor pool, a multi-layered indoor pool, a home theater, a billiards room, and wine cellar. It also has bathrooms that are bigger than my first apartment. If Lopez does move forward with purchasing the home, she better hope it has ample subterranean space for a Batcave. He's been Superman, Geralt of Rivia, Sherlock Holmes, and the owner of a $5 million Lake Sherwood home. I'm of course talking about the internet's favorite computer building nerd, Henry Cavill. His home is a thing of beauty. For starters, you could just stare at the unconventional modern architecture. It looks like several hexagons placed on top of each other with a gorgeous brickwork fountain flowing beneath them. Inside, you'll see a giant open circular space with a minimalistic set of circular furniture. That contrasts heavily with his somewhat shabby by comparison $6 million Jersey home where he grew up. To clarify, I mean Jersey of the Channel Islands, not New Jersey. The outside looks like it could use a new coat of paint, some roof work, and more than a few landscapers. The interior is a different story. Here you can tell where Cavill got his sense of style and his love of open space floor plans. This home has quite the history as well. It was built in 1870 as a farmhouse and was briefly occupied by German forces during World War II. The estate is also home to lush greenery, gardens, and walking paths. Now that I get a look at the gardens, I take back that crack I made about the landscapers. Christian Bale has a lot of experience playing decadent rich guys like Bruce Wayne and Patrick Bateman. Despite being a rich guy himself worth $120 million, he really doesn't seem to like to live the luxurious lifestyle. I mean, the man still drives a 2003 Toyota Tacoma. That's why he didn't make a big fuss out of it when he purchased an $8.8 million Brentwood Park mansion. It is a perfect American home. A multiple-story brick house with a nicely trimmed lawn, a pool in the backyard, and fresh flowers at the gate. The home might be relatively small for Brentwood, only 0.36 of an acre, but the interior is anything but small. It boasts 6 bedrooms and 7.5 bathrooms, a lovely dining room with a chandelier and a built-in grill. It also has a very classy open living room with plenty of comfy chairs that are practically beckoning for guests to take a seat. The kitchen is a humble size with rough wood cabinets. The master bedroom is creamy white with a fireplace that rests just under a television. By far, the best part about this house is the private study. It's a rustic room that looks pulled right out of a royal hunting estate. It has a huge rug, a fireplace, and dozens of books on the walls. My favorite part is the portrait of an elephant. It feels like it's there for Bale to tell a story about how he fought the elephant with his bare hands and then earned its respect. Nice. Tom Holland has skyrocketed to an A-list star worth $18 million at only 25 years old. So obviously, the Spider-Man No Way Home star had to buy a house worthy of such success. Unfortunately, just like how Peter Parker would literally rewrite reality to keep his identity a secret, Holland doesn't want anyone to know where he lives. What we do know is that he lives close to his parents and 3 younger brothers in London. This is kind of crazy, but a pigeon recently broke into his home and got a better look at it than we have. Tom Holland named the bird Will Smith after his Spies in Disguise character and shooed it out. At least I can tell you his wooden door looks nice. I hate to break it to you, but Gal Gadot doesn't actually live in Themyscira. Instead, she lives in a magnificent oceanfront Malibu property worthy of a goddess. The $5 million, 1,956 square foot, 2-bedroom, 3-bath property was purchased by Gadot in 2020. I'm not a huge fan of the exterior of the home. It just looks like a pair of gray boxes right off of the coast. Though you don't buy a home there to look at the house. You buy that home to look at the flawless view of the ocean. Inside, it has raised ceilings and a skylight, which is perfect for superhero landings into the living room. The home features open living spaces with simple white furniture. I don't know why all of these celebrities have white couches. I know Wonder Woman never spills anything, but the rest of us do. The kitchen is surprisingly simple, with marble counters and not a lot of space. The bathroom features enough lights for a Broadway show, lining up and down the entire wall. It has plenty of outdoor seating options to appreciate what this house is really about, staring out into the ocean. Angelina Jolie may be one of the newest heroes to join the MCU, but it feels like she's always been a superhero. Recently, she bought a $25 million Hollywood home so that she could move closer to ex-husband Brad Pitt. This is surprising considering how ugly their divorce has gotten. Still, it's nice that she has somewhere this nice to cope with all that stress. It's a 6-bedroom, 10-bathroom estate in the gated community of Laughlin Park. Amenities include an outdoor swimming pool, a home gym, a tea house, a wine cellar, and huge landscaped gardens. The home doesn't feature an entertainment or game room, though. Jolie prefers that her and her children enjoy introspective walks through the property instead of video games and TV. The kitchen is spacious enough for her to cook with her 6 kids running around. The master bath is a lovely white brick space with a surprisingly small bathtub. What I'm the most jealous of is her private library. It is so large and luxurious that it features one of those rolling ladders from Beauty and the Beast. I've always wanted one of those. No one has had a year as good as Simu Liu. Despite the fact that millions thought Shang-Chi would fail, it became one of the highest-grossing movies of 2021. So when you are captured from Canadian television to the Hollywood A-list and $19 million, you gotta buy a house that shows that off. Boy, did he find a good home for that job. I mean, he bought a $5 million home in LA's Mount Olympus neighborhood. Nothing says you made it more than that. The 4,700 square foot house is about as contemporary gets. The blocky home features plenty of natural light, an outdoor staircase, a fire pit, and of course a pool. The kitchen is top of the line with Miele appliances and stone countertops. The home boasts 5 bedrooms, each with their own suite-style bathroom. The home is covered in modern art perfect for a 21st century superhero. Despite its impressive location and style, it's not a huge place. Don't worry, man, Shang-Chi was just the beginning. I'm sure home tennis courts, bowling alleys, and an indoor theater are in the near future. Harry Styles just barely squeaked into the superhero club with a post-credits Eternals cameo as Star Fox, the brother of Thanos. When he's not jetting across the galaxy with Patton Oswalt, he's hanging out with his girlfriend Olivia Wilde in this lovely LA home. The $1.3 million property sits on a roughly 6,000 square foot lot. This 3-bedroom, 2-bath modern home is covered in greenery for the perfect private LA space. Through all that green, you'll see a wooden deck with a pool built in. Then you'll see a flawlessly decorated home full of art, minimalist furniture, and skateboards overlooking the master bedroom. It also features a hot tub and plenty of outdoor seating perfect for Hollywood parties and building new romance. Just don't tell Jason Sudeikis how nice it looks. Seems like a sore subject still. Hugh Jackman may have hung up the claws forever, but he will always be Wolverine to us. His time as an X-Man awarded him $180 million and a giant home in the Hamptons. Building a home like this can cost tens of millions. I mean, it's so large that it makes even the 6'3" actor seem tiny. Despite the impressive size, they consider the place to be a minimalist sanctuary. It features very little furniture and a whole lot of art. Amenities are also sparse, but the marble bathtub looks amazing. It does have a pool though, because it has to have a pool, right? The entire point of the home is designed to give the couple a sense of overwhelming peace. So basically the opposite of X-Men Origins. These actors can make like $20 to $80 million for filming these movies. They could have become real superheroes for that money instead of buying fancy houses.